That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There's more SSL Challenge coming up. Thank you for sticking with us. My name is Rapid. This is Valdez. If you didn't catch that in our first series, we're reminding you again, just like we do with every single introduction of our players and every single game.
And this is Piglet.
That's Piglet. This is just some cross-gartering. I don't know what you'd call that, but it's there. We like to really be innovative, both in our show formats and in our wardrobe and attire. That's why we we're going to like 5th grade up top, but we're super serious down bottom.
I remember I posted a picture on my Twitter a while back of like preview of what our outfits look like for the SSL Challenge cast, and it was just like a South Korean like student kid in like exactly the same shirt and tie. I'm like,
I don't know where they find this. It's also like the travesty of the clothing manufacturer out there that is just like, well, what if like 30-year-olds want to look like they're still in high school? Like, we should make clothes for that, right? And then they just come up with this stuff. So it's for your viewing pleasure, just like our ASMR ads and all of our Chilsung Cider sparkling ads.
Unfortunately, they've disappeared.
That's true.
Now we just get to watch a bunch of FIFA.
We get to watch soccer all day long. Ugh. Hand egg.
I know. Who plays hand egg anyway?
Ball sports? I don't know, man. It's all these T-sports. I tell you, man.
I just want to say that I support my local sports ball team at my local sports arena.
I love sports ball. It's my favorite.
That's all I'm gonna say. So I hope you guys do the same, because that's the civilized way. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know what's going on, you got to support your local sports ball team.
You can't just be like an esports. You got to know your roots. You got to know where things come from. The T-sports as well.
Yeah.
So that's where they are. So. Well, Valdez.
We got another game.
We do.
Eventually, another set of games, a best-of-5 between Bunny and JJAKJI.
Bunny and JJAKJI. Oh my.
Rogue, if Bunny wins, they actually have like a voting system for the casters.
Wait, what?
who is the least
That's
funny?
Hilarious.
I just read it. Who is the least funny cast, or like the least interesting, entertaining caster? And most of the votes were for this guy.
You hurt that guy's feelings.
He's like, am I really not funny? They're all like, yeah. Yeah, you suck.
I'm so glad we don't do that with Twitch chat. If you could type, I don't know, what would our emotes be? If you want to type like resident sleeper for Brendan or what face for me, you can vote on. We're not actually keeping track of those votes, but there's a similar voting system out there. Not sure who we're showing in the crowd there. I can't actually see who that is.
It looks like the chair.
The chair.
Yeah, the chair.
So those casters can be sitting after.
You know, the chair is like the real star of any broadcast, right? You check out any stream when the chair comes on.
If I had a
chat
person
goes
in my
crazy.
life that was as supportive of me as chairs are, like, imagine what a life it would be.
What if I just like hid down there and you casted with my chair?
That would be probably pretty boring.
Well, we do have a game coming in here. It is Bunny. He is 3-1. He's been surprising nowadays. He definitely has turned up his play.
He certainly has. Meeting his untimely demise last week in a kind of a surprising upset. Aside from that, Bunny's been looking super great. And I mean, for JJAKJI, he has been looking kind of the opposite of that. Just barely picking up his first win in SSL Challenge. So he has been feeling the struggles, but you can see there's a smile on his face. He's been having some medical issues, but he's all recovered from those, and he's back to play in the final week of the SSL Challenge Stage 2.
Yeah. If he does win tonight, I think because Rogue and him, they were both at the same record. They were both 6-10, if I remember, 1-3, 6-10. As long as he defeats Bunny in a 3-1 or more, I think he will secure the 4th place spot. So he will have to do that. It's a very tough opponent for him, but this is our map list.
I was looking at the predictions, and on paper, this is our most even matchup of the night. Rogue was very favored over Impact early, and then I'll talk about it later for our final series of the night. But for our series at hand here, if you just look at maybe their lifetime stats, then maybe it looks pretty even. But if you want to go just SSL and compare how these guys have been doing, it's just night and day. JJAKJI really struggling, and of course Bunny, the Bunster, hopping up to the top.
Yeah, I'm favoring Bunny in this one. I don't think that should be a surprise.
I think I'm going to go with a Bunny prediction here as well.
Did he defeat Byun? Am I?
Yeah, I want to say.
I think it was he who defeated Byun. I feel like we should know this, but
I want to say that as well, Valdez.
I'm pretty sure that he did. This TVT is pretty good. That's all I'll say. JJAKJI hasn't really impressed as much. He did go 0-3 against Byun.
This is like crazy. There's like more people coming into the studio. It's like standing room only. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's like actually so many people
right now.
The amount of alive this game is just so alive. From like on a spectrum of like alive to like ultra super alive, it's like way on the alive side, guys.
Now we just need alive to come back to SSL
Challenge.
That's
right. Then it would be the most alive.
Then it's truly alive. Yeah.
That's what we got to do.
Yeah. So I think we're ready to get into the game.
We're now. Oh my God! Oh, Valdez, that timing.
You like that? Yeah.
It's so good.
I've been working on my timing.
It caresses my caster senses.
Okay, that's good to know. Bunny looking ready to go, as he always does. Very focused. JJAKJI a little bit more laid back, although he's getting a little bit wiggly in his chair. And it looks like we're ready to go, guys. So let's hop on to game number 1 of our second match of the night.
Here we go. We're going to fly better fly again?
Fly better fly. Jin Air.
Okay. Hey, only one of them did it, so only one of us has to do it. Here's our Red Terran player in the bottom right-hand corner. It's Bunny.
And his opponent in the top left, this is the Blue Terran, JJAKJI.
Now this is kind of interesting. JJAKJI actually, in stage 2, was the player that overcame Bunny and finished his Group A in first place. So after Bunny was just having a great season, JJAKJI had an even better one. And then SSL Challenge stage 2 came, and JJAKJI started to struggle.
Yeah. That's where you realize, hey, all of those Protosses that weren't playing well are now knocked out, and you have to play against guys that are in really good form. And so that is what is going to happen. So I think they were talking there about how this combination of casters, they really like it, and they were cheering for like some president, perhaps of SPO. I know we got a couple of guys in the chat that are translating that, so shout out to those guys.
Big fans.
So I'm sure they can do a much better job of translating that exactly into the chat for you guys.
In the future, when North America is the most competitive region, all of our fan signs will be in English, and we won't have to worry about that.
Maybe someday.
No. It's coming, Valdez. I mean, just look at how many foreigners qualified for BlizzCon.
I know. So many.
Lots.
Incredible amounts.
No, the gap is closing, Valdez, despite what the statistics might say. I'm super excited. I mean, this and GSL Super Tournament are the only tournaments left. And, of course, Super Tournament's the only one that gives WCS points for Korea. So looking forward to that one coming up. This is our little swan song here at the SSL Challenge, our final game. But it does actually decide a lot for next season. For Bunny especially, he is racing against Byun there, way up at the top of the standings, just a point apart. First place does mean a direct seed to SSL Premier, so there is a lot on the line here for Bunny.
In terms of builds, it looks like Bunny went for a faster command center into Factory afterwards, whereas JJAKJI did go for the fast starport. Looks like he will go for the Banshees, potentially here. We'll see if he wants to play a more defensive style with some Ravens, though.
Yeah, so there's a couple of cool things that have been happening in TVT. If you sniff out that your opponent is not going to have a big mid-game swell, something like a battle mech transition or going for crazy drop strats, then you can actually try to skip your way towards like a little bit of a later game mech style. I've seen it work a couple of times. There's also that wacky innovation, speed banshees that we've seen a couple of times. There's some cool stuff happening in TVT, but mostly it is just tanks and drops, and nobody does that quite like Bunny.
His multitasking is pretty ridiculous.
It certainly is. Look at that.
100 minerals.
Craigasm.
I don't know why, but the way you said that was like perfect for,
wow.
for what you were going for.
100 minerals in 2017? Lol.
I know. JJAKJI miles ahead now. What a guy. Well, Bunny did get that earlier CC, so legitimately he is in a better spot here. Does have a couple of extra workers. He gets a very well-placed scan to follow up and see exactly what was made after the Reapers poked their little heads in.
Is that what they do?
Yes.
It's like they're hibernating in a hole in the ground. They're just like, is it winter yet? And they pop their head up. They're like the groundhog. If the Reaper sees its shadow, we have 1,000 years of TVT.
Oh boy. TVT's fun. What's your favorite matchup of StarCraft?
Of StarCraft? The fans versus good games.
Whoa.
Yeah. for actual races. I'm a big fan of TVZ. I think that's pretty sick. As long as there aren't 50 Reapers in my games, I think that's a pretty cool matchup to watch.
If it's like normal TVZ, you know,
yeah.
with some innovation now and then, including the player, but also some real innovation. I do like TVZ as well. PVT is also fun. PVZ is like, I feel like that's like number 3 in my mind. Look at that.
Oh, it stays alive. Bunny, the caretaker of every individual Cyclone, keeping it alive. Behind our main Korean caster, there's like a biography of Michael Jackson. I was noticing that.
Why is that there?
I don't know. I just noticed
Where
that.
Where did they find that book?
We also have like a SEO book, like search engine optimization book, right behind one of our other casters. Behind us, there's like Jin Air airplanes and a view of like the Han River. Nothing quite as interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that Marine just didn't stand a chance. It's the take one for the team Marine. He died for a greater cause.
He got wrecked. Look at all the Vikings that Bunny made. He has 5 already, 7 now as 2 more pop out. And, well, he's got he had them. Okay, he does have them in position here in the main. Needs to snipe those before they come in, but he's going to be late.
Yeah, the Vikings, wow, actually do take out one of the medevacs just in time. Lots of auto turrets down here. The siege tank's in good positions, but those the auto turrets will time out. And that means these siege tanks should be pretty easy to clean up.
You know what? That is just fantastic for Bunny.
JJAKJI just lost everything, Valdez. Even the Cyclone coming up the ramp didn't even stand a chance.
What a boss. The heavy commitment to all of those Vikings early on and just keeping them in the main just worked wonders for Bunny. He just waited for JJAKJI to go for a drop. It seems like he knew exactly what was coming.
It's almost like if you build 6 Vikings early and your opponent drops into it, that puts you in a good spot. I don't know, guys. I definitely need Twitch chat to help me out with the analysis on this one, but it certainly seems like Bunny is slightly ahead.
Oh, yeah.
But they're even on workers, Valdez.
Look at the Liberators that are coming out here, too. JJAKJI is going to desperately try to catch up in the air control, but that's not going to work. He's too far behind already. He does have a missile turret, which I like.
Why do you like the missile turret so much?
Well, it has a little guy in there that spins around.
That is true.
I know, it's makes me dizzy thinking about it. We got this attack coming in.
Yeah, but look at the air control. Like, there's no way that he can hope to fight that. He's even going to get JJAKJI's going to get a Viking picked off. He might even lose the next one. Wow, both Vikings going down, and now these Liberators reign supreme.
I think Bunny had the perfect amount of Vikings that can one-shot a Viking of his opponents, but he is going for the hard push now. Liberators re-siege, as do the tanks, and slowly pushing back JJAKJI further and further. Now 25 supply ahead in this game.
At this point, JJAKJI is just really happy that Liberators don't kill buildings.
Oh, yeah. Imagine a world where they could.
Yeah, but he just siege crawls his way up here. Does he get the salvage off? Hashtag worth. Getting that value.
Slow push in here. He's desperately trying to make more Vikings, more missile turrets. This medevac is going to be sniped.
Oh, he doesn't even drop it in the units inside. And this is just a travesty, just watching the death of a JJAKJI.
Should be a novel, The Death of a JJAKJI. We're seeing it being written in front of us right now. Looks like Bunny pretty much has this one in the bag, although JJAKJI is sticking in it, so props to him. The scan looks like it was a little bit late. Not sure if it saw that medevac moving out.
I think it did. The medevac's actually going to stop and maybe look to come in from the side for maybe a flank. Yeah, the medevac just totally stopped right outside vision and unloads, so I think he is going to come around and try to break this. I feel like that's intense optimism at work.
Oh, yeah. Intense optimism.
He's looking on the bright side of life, but it's not going to look bright much longer as Bunny continues pushing forward. Now, granted, to JJAKJI's credit, he has produced quite a few Vikings.
He finally caught up.
Wow. And he's not going to go for a flank. He's going to go across the map and try to intercept the forces, but instead of being a parade push, Bunny has saved his forces back at home, bunched them up, and is now going to be more than capable of crossing the map to reinforce.
Yeah. Talk about Bunny's multitasking from time to time. It seems like he's been mainly focusing on the attack in this game. Did wait quite a long time before he sent out that third base here at this location. And you can see JJAKJI wants to come in and try to deny that, but already Bunny has identified the situation correctly. He has a soft contain on JJAKJI in his base. JJAKJI can't move out his third orbital, whereas Bunny, if he just defends his own third, he's going to be in a good spot.
Yeah, and here is JJAKJI going to go for it, trying to bust out. Looks like he might just barely have enough, and he does. In fact, have more than just barely enough. He crushes it. He's going to bust out, but behind this, like you said, Valdez, Bunny, as long as he hangs on, is going to be in a great spot.
Yeah, he has got a pretty significant lead so far in this game. Had a couple of drops going into the main, but there is a sensor tower and a couple of Vikings over there to deny.
Oh, here's the stim. Just no chance.
Never saw it coming.
There will be no survivors.
There will be blood.
There will be. Taking him out, and Observer there showing the upgrades, and even that not going to be a way that JJAKJI can maybe try to get back into here. Although I will say that, what is he saying? Okay, he is a little bit ahead on the 2-2, but he's getting a third base up. So, I mean, JJAKJI will stay alive. So the game continues, but Bunny certainly in a great spot.
Bunny thinking about another attack here.
Yeah.
Grouping up his forces. It's going to be good timing if he hits before 2-2 finishes. If
he hits before 2-2 and actually is, and also is able to find a good position segmenting off this third base, it can be a little bit difficult. Now, our earlier attack was decided by who had the stronger air control, and that time it was Bunny moving forward, then JJAKJI overcame him. But for now, it actually looks like there are no Vikings on either side, so this is just all going to be tanks, medevacs, and 20 more Marines for Bunny.
Yeah, air control, quote-unquote, is medevacs, right? Just spotting.
Yeah.
Bunny getting a little bit too far forward. He lost one tank, essentially, for free already. Does have a very strong force. I like that he's rallying everything over to the third base because he knows that's where JJAKJI would want to hit. We see these parade pushes where everybody has everything rallied on the other side. Whoa, no tank siege, but it looks like somehow JJAKJI has more Marines there? He's down 30 Marines, and yet he still has more where it counts. That's pretty impressive. Also, he's gone back into Viking production, and he has the higher Viking numbers, and that is just going to give him so much value defending. Just trying to edge forward and do whatever damage he can. I feel like Bunny is ever so slightly losing his grip on the advantage that he had in this game. Just slightly. He is still ahead. Does have a very nice bank that he's struggling to spend here. And he does have the bigger army. So here we go. Moving forward now is JJAKJI. He's going to force that siege, but in comes Bunny.
There's so many more Marines here for Bunny, but this might not be the fight he wants to pick. The siege tanks landing huge shots. The Liberators crushing everything.
Not the fight he was looking for sure. I mean, his tanks were just out of position, not able to siege any of the Marines of JJAKJI. So just like that, he loses his advantage, and now JJAKJI is in the driver's seat.
Man, I gotta say, watching JJAKJI just handle each one of these crisis moments, right? Super impressive. And wow, thankfully that command center completes and he'll be able to lift it and run it away, but that might not be staying alive much longer. The 4th base going to get sniped by this delayed drop, and man, JJAKJI's in a great spot.
Everything that he was trying to do earlier, it seems like Bunny is slowly allowing him to do it as he loses his grip on the game. He looks so confident and so far ahead in the beginning when he had the advantage, but now, you know, a couple of wrong moves and all of a sudden, not looking nearly as strong as he once did.
Yeah, and look at JJAKJI. He's halfway to having 3-3, and he's even up the Marine count. I mean, cute little counterattacks like this is like, okay, Bunny, you get a golf clap. This is just going to be stamped out of oblivion and into oblivion, not out of that. That's the opposite direction.
Yeah. He's saving them, yeah. Taking them out of oblivion.
Indeed.
Nicely done.
No, but that drop gets totally cleaned up. 5 SCVs, woo! But now Bunny should feel the full wrath of a very strong JJAKJI. The supplies might look close if you just look at the big numbers, but as far as army count and the quality of units, these Liberators going to town, the Vikings dying to Marines, I mean, this is just domination. JJAKJI doing so well.
Bunny had to lift his 30s, not even mining from there right now. And so JJAKJI will be ahead of base. He's coming in with this force. The second he sees Bunny move out for a counterattack, he moves in. Look at that scan right on top of the army.
Perfect. JJAKJI's killing supply depots with SCVs. I don't know if that's a little BM or not, but that's going to do it. Wow, JJAKJI coming back. That's insane from a player that we were talking about, you know, having a difficult second stage of the season. He just looked so good.
That's a frustrating loss for Bunny when you're that far ahead and you just cannot close out the game, right? That's a game where a better Terran would have been able to close it out. You get Byun in the booth, you get Innovation in the booth, you get TY in there, Maru. They would have closed out the game. Bunny, he's looking really good. He's got a good record here in Challenge, but when he gets that big of a lead against a player like JJAKJI, he should be able to end the game.
I mean, you have to look at the way the game progressed, right? Bunny completely stomps JJAKJI's early drop. He has higher air numbers. He has a great siege at the natural. He's able to get a faster 3rd base. And it's like, oh, wow, Bunny's in a great spot. But I think he just stayed a little too long sieging the natural expansion for JJAKJI. JJAKJI eventually builds up the forces he needs, busts out, and from there on out, it was Bunny having some questionable engages. Like, he had that one fight where he fought underneath Liberators and into a massive amount of siege tanks. I'm like, I don't know about this one. That's where Bunny is the Bunny that gets bopped on the head.
That was the fight, basically, where he lost his huge advantage. He got like 20 supply behind off of that one. So, Odyssey, kind of a wonky map, and that's, you know, it's pretty long, but also there's a lot of room in the middle where you can take fights like that. I feel like the control was better for JJAKJI in a fight like that. His multitasking even looked better than Bunny's, which is just strange. We can't even say that Bunny is tired again because it's earlier time today.
And usually Bunny's the one with the better multitasking.
Exactly,
He's the one going in for these big drop plays all around the map. It usually is Bunny the one kind of dictating the pace of the game. And he was able to swing things in his favor, but winds up getting taken out there. So JJAKJI up 1 game. And, you know, for JJAKJI, I guess this doesn't mean quite as much as it does for Bunny. If Bunny loses this game and then Byun wins his next game in the series versus Sue, then Byun will take 1st place and take the spot that Hero had last season of Challenge and get out of SSL Challenge, advance directly to Premier.
Bunny doing a bit of meditating in the booth right now. We actually have the spot where we can see the players now.
This is really cool.
From here.
I wish I could show this to you guys.
At least only on this side of the arena. Only the 3 players that play on this side.
He is in some like deep meditation right now. But here we go. He's going to snap out of his slumber and head into the next game in our series. JJAKJI looks super good. He's smiley coming into today's games. He's back and feeling better than ever. Bunny's got to come back.
Doing his meditation. He's bringing together his little bunny powers. See if he can do this. We're going into game number 2 on Frost for TVT.
There we go. We're going to fly better fly. On to Frost in the bottom right-hand corner. Our red Terran player. It's Bunny, the Bunster.
Looking to take first place, needs to win this match. Down in the bottom left, looking to survive and go to the fast lane. It is JJAKJI. Needs to win this one 3-1, I believe, in terms of indicators.
Yeah,
in order to make it into 4th place.
Yeah, that should be something just noted. It's not just whether or not you win. Winning itself is not just good enough. You have to win dominantly because the game score does matter. So keep an eye on what's on the way. Gas. Let's see, how many gas are we seeing? 1 apiece.
Hopefully those guys in the chat can translate.
Yeah, no, that was pretty wacky. I mean, they're showing our funny commentator waving at the boom camera as he is wont to do. So at least that makes sense. But just trying to keep an eye on everything here. SCV Scout is better for JJAKJI, so he will get the info in time. And will he see this command center being put down? Maybe he can assume that that's what the SCV was there for, but he'll go back and make sure.
Yeah, we'll get that scout. JJAKJI is going for 2 racks Reaper in his own main. Just 2 racks, and it is in the main, so trying to be as safe as possible with his aggression, I suppose, if that makes any sense.
Safe aggression, yeah. Tell me more. I don't know. He's
level-headed aggression.
Right, there we go. I think we've decided on the
balanced term. Aggression.
There we go.
Let's just make it as confusing as possible.
Just to cover our bases. Well, JJAKJI is covering his bases, making sure to not only scout the expansion coming out from Bunny, but also to look around for proxies on the map and see if maybe there's a proxy starport or factory or something weird out there. Also now coming across the map with 2 Reapers. They're going to catch at least one of Bunny's Reapers out of position here. So, or maybe they just jump right up into it. Uh-oh. That's not the fight you want to fight.
Oh, they're going to snipe it out. The bunker's coming
down.
Whoa!
That's so sick.
We've seen this before. We've seen it end games. Look at Bunny. He's got his hands off the keyboard. He doesn't have units for so long. He's got to wait for the Hellions.
I mean, that's just, wow. You know, whoever thought that sniping just 1 Reaper early on is just going to end it, but now there's 3 Reapers and almost completed bunker. This bunker finishes, not even Hellions are going to bust you out of that.
Yeah, Reaper's pretty good against light units. At the end of the day, they hop into the bunker, and now what is Bunny to do? Look at how close the CC was to finishing.
Heartbreaking there. Bunny just stopped barely short of erecting his natural expansion. And I mean, as much as it delays it to build it in your main, sometimes that's just what you gotta do. Repair on the Hellions in Bunny's base, double Cyclones in production, but a bunker full of Reapers and now a Marine that walked the long trek across Frost. Now here come the Cyclones down to bust. He's gonna bring the boys here too, just to try to desperately construct the command center. Perfect.
Look at what he's doing.
They bounce it back. The command center finishes, and only the Marine shoots up here, so this should be enough. The SCV actually moves forward, and I think it got the kill on the Cyclone, Valdez.
Something did at the end of it all. Crazy micro out of JJAKJI and crazy just emergency play out of Bunny. He gets that command center to live.
And look at how many more units lost there for Bunny. Heartbreaking. This is just incredible. I have not seen that kind of push work in quite so well in a very long time. JJAKJI just bringing out all the strats here in the final day of SSL Challenge.
That was really cool to watch. It's nice to see that JJAKJI, who essentially just has SSL challenges, like putting his heart and soul into these games, He's got Stim finishing up. That's something that you're not going to see on the units lost tab when you try to identify what position we're in this game.
Yeah, Stim finishing up here in just a second. +1 weapons on the way. With these two medevacs, I mean, that's just really going to allow JJAKJI to hammer home his advantage. He just rockets across the map, slams down more units, and Bunny can deal with it. I mean, this is going to enter crisis management here pretty soon.
He's got some Hellions here.
I mean, okay, if those can run by and get good trades, maybe. But
well, they're in position to scout, funnily enough. He will need those on the defense. I suppose they're going to scout each other.
If those get dropped on and taken out early, then that would be a tragedy. But thankfully, Bunny does pull them back and is in position to defend.
Okay, we do have 2 medevacs worth of units. Everything will unload, and again, they have Stim. This is only Hellions. They get some decent shots. No split, really, from JJAKJI.
Wow, that was much better than I expected. Yeah, should have mentioned the harass on the other side with more SCVs going down. And actually, if you look at the income or the resources lost tab, that actually makes it look a lot more even.
Yeah, this harass with the Raven has been quite nice.
Oh wow, that actually kills the missile turret, or forces the cancel on it.
Yeah, 7 SCVs, cancel on the missile turret, and there you have it. But we're getting Blue Flame out of Bunny.
Blue Flame.
Did he want to go mech?
Is he trying to win like a 2014 MLG?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, that's the strat you want to go for.
He was so shocked by JJAKJI's build, he got sent into another dimension.
He's forced to play through every previous tournament all the way up to here.
But I don't think he was planning on this, but just the sheer number of Hellions and Cyclones that he was forced to make to defend may have been the reason why he goes into this. Blue Flame not done, but this is 4 Hellions coming in.
It turns out Hellions versus Marines is not that bad. Okay, Hellions versus Tanks is bad, though. So, whoa, the hot pickup, saving one of those Hellions, and now heading back over to JJAKJI, or to Bunny's base, as he denies a JJAKJI drop.
Scan coming in here. That CC still a little bit weak, rather. Combination of low and weak is leak. Today I learned as my brain combined those 2 words as I'm trying to cast. But Bunny does have tanks at this point, so will not be an easy break.
And tanks will stabilize on both sides. You're not really going to get too much damage at this point. We don't have those fleets in the air that are big enough to go for crazy doom drops. He morphs it to heal. Nice. And now he's going to go for a double Hellbat drop. I don't think that will be very effective, but I guess we'll get a chance to watch. Neither one of these players feel comfortable taking a third base just yet. They're just trying to stabilize the crazy way that this game started.
Ooh. Okay, gets taken out there in the end. And both these players have some nice drop defense. Looks like after the insanity of the early game, we are transitioning into more of a normal mid-game.
That was such a cool way to start this, but you know, a lot of times we'll see JJAKJI come out with a cool strat, and he executes it, and it's like, wow, that did a thing. And then the follow-up is just not as safe and secure. But in game 1, it was Bunny that looked that way, where he's like, okay, I'm gonna stop this, go across the map, and get a nice siege, and then he gets busted. And now here in game number 2, JJAKJI with the early opener that did very well, but it seems like things might be switching over towards Bunny if he's able to get this big mech force out.
He's turtling here on 2 bases. Artosis would be proud. Curious to see where he takes the 3rd base location. Probably the one to the left. Or, no, I guess the 3rd base up towards the north of his natural would be nice. You can get a good line. You can keep your Vikings and make a sensor tower down towards the south just to make sure you don't get dropped. Speaking of Vikings.
Yeah, no, that is quite a few, Valdez. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Vikings. And now, faster shots, though, from JJAKJI's Vikings. They are going to start to kite back away. In the end, it is 4 versus 3, the greater number at the end for Bunny.
Yeah, nice little trade there. JJAKJI will take his north location. Looks like Bunny is going to go against what I said. Just take the closer one here.
It's times like these where things like that random SOS proxy expansion that you don't expect really kick in for a lot of value when you're so focused on just securing every little spot on your side of the map that you kind of forget about the rest of a big map like Frost. But no, both players just going to start to set up their third bases as JJAKJI is the aggressor pushing out onto the map.
It does have a lot of bio, bunch of Marauders mixed in. Bunny's moving out, there's no siege.
That line of sight blocker is so crucial, and now all these Marauders on the ground, the faster, the higher DPS of this bio here for JJAKJI, doing a lot of damage, but in the end, the mech army prevails.
Those Hellbats, perfect positioning on the tanks, protecting against the drops that came on top of them. Even though the siege was late, the composition was a bit better for Bunny there, and so he holds on. Not sure about those two SCVs. They gave up in this life.
He's going to land the Vikings in the main, but does it staggered, so it's not quite the biggest win.
He's going for a drop now. There's not too much here. Those tanks were out on the map.
Yeah, and the tank actually dealing a lot of damage. They're taking out, or helping to take out those Hellbats. Tank does siege and is summarily annihilated, but I love the attempt at the and one here from JJAKJI. He's actually going to snipe a tank. No, he's just one hit away. But he's not going to go for it. Instead, we'll pick up and try to escape here. Tiny forces from JJAKJI trying to get out on the map and do something, but there's a big mech ball there for Bunny. It seems to be crushing through everything.
I feel like JJAKJI's trying to do too much at this point. He's like, I'm playing bio against mech. I need to out-micro you. Here I come. And then it just doesn't really work out. Drops are going to be protected. Now Thors are coming out. It's looking good for Bunny.
And that Thor is just at the perfect time. Pushes out the drops, trying to deal damage, and now is going to allow Bunny to push out himself.
What is going on?
I love how Bunny scans those proxy expansion locations. He's like, look, I feel like I'm fighting my way back, but let's just make sure. So he scans the corners and makes sure that there's no hijinks in those locations at least.
That's I don't know how I feel about that move. That's like so many minerals he just dumped into scans. That was 4 scans, right? 1,200 minerals potential. Just thrown away for information. I feel like he could have sent like 1 Marine, which he is doing.
Yeah, so he is going to go ahead and scout around.
1 Hellion, I guess.
With that. Yeah, that was actually quite a bit to spend, but it's going to be about the defense, not necessarily the vision control. But trying to get in there and drop the Hellbats off, he does finally get a couple to stick. They will deal a lot of damage and allow these Vikings to get in on top of the Liberators, starting to take them out, and the Thor from behind doing a great job as well.
Bunny trying to get fancy himself with the Hellbat drops.
He just speeds the loaded Medivacs into Stim Marines. Like, I don't know about that one. But I love the two styles clashing here. Big bio forces for JJAKJI versus the mech strat from Bunny.
That's looking pretty cool. I think with this blue flame, Bunny, he wants to find a base to harass, but it's not here. Just a drive-by, I suppose.
Even though both players are on 3 bases, JJAKJI floated his main for that, so still only does have those 2 command centers. And now, wow, JJAKJI trying to push forward and go for it. The Thor pulling back, lots of damage being done, but the siege line's too deep, and Bunny crushes everything.
Again, JJAKJI trying to just overwhelm the forces of Bunny, trying to catch him unsieged, but Bunny has been on point so far in his defense. A couple of shaky moments, but looks like he's held on now, and now he wants to go for his own push.
Yeah, Vikings in the sky. Thor's on the ground as well, and both of those taking out JJAKJI's Air Force, and that will allow Bunny to push forward.
I love that one Thor. You can tank so many tank shots with it. If you're going up against bio tank, and there's not a lot of bio there, and you have your own tanks in position to protect against the bio, it's just really obnoxious.
Oh, look at this high ground advantage. We all know what that does. But for Bunny, it is going to be a great spot to be in. The Vikings coming forward, but even still, that Thor prevails. I'm not sure why it's not taking out that Viking. Just running forward, helping to bust through the tank and secure this high ground for Bunny.
The SCVs, man, keeping that Thor alive for so long, and you were talking about the high ground. That might just be the last nail in the coffin, as that's going to be all that mining away from that third base. JJAKJI is not mining from his main anymore.
Thor's got a pretty good healthcare plan. Hellions, or the Hellbats as well, they can be both repaired and healed. Oh my God, so
Where
much
do I
healing.
sign up?
I know, right? That's what I need.
When can I begin adding mech parts to my own body? That's what I want to know. Elon, are you listening? Let's get it started. Let's do it. Anyway, we do have the end of this game.
Yeah, that might be it. Carpet bombing with the Hellions all over everything. Bunny comes back, ties up the series.
Nicely done. Uses that mech style on Frost. JJAKJI this time is the one that may have to do a bit of meditating himself.
He got a little bit of a thinking face there on at the end. He's like, but I built a bunker and
but I made marauders. That's supposed to counter it.
Well, he also built quite a few Marines as well. It wasn't just like, if you come out that with like a big burly brawl of Marauders, like, I mean, that's going to be scary to any mech force, but no, mech prevails. So
yeah,
I feel like there's this conversation that's going on. It's like, you know, is mech the way to go in TVT? But you do have to check the right boxes to pull it off. And certainly there, it worked out better for Bunny. So he evens up the series and turn this into a best of 3 as we head into game 3.
JJAKJI putting his earbuds back in. He still has a big smile on his face as he's talking a little bit as well. Doesn't seem too happy with the way that game 2 went. Can't really blame him. And seems like this series as well should go the distance, as these guys definitely seem very evenly matched in this one.
You know, they certainly do. And I was talking about statistically, yeah, this is going to be our closest match of the night. It's shaping up exactly that way. So let's go ahead and get into game number 3, Bunny versus JJAKJI.
Here we do go. Hopping on to Ascension to Ire. Down on the bottom right, this is Bunny.
Finally kicking in with those crowd cheers. His opponent on the other side of the map in the blue, this is Team Revolution's JJAKJI. Okay, so they're spawning in cross positions on Ascension. It's a 2-player map. The most standard, or at least one of them. What are they oohing and eyeing over?
I don't know.
Like, it's literally mirrored builds. Like,
they're talking about not the game.
Okay. And then he finds out that Red Rum is murder backwards. Whoa. See, there we go. Now everyone's wondering.
Look at the intense scouts both of these guys have.
They are
going
just
on.
really making sure. It's almost more valuable to scout around your own base than it is to scout your opponent.
Mirrored scouts. Quite literally.
Okay, see, what's up with that scout? It doesn't scout if the barracks are positioned right up against the wall there. He could still be proxying you, and you just failed at your scout. You got to go all the way.
Yeah. It's like, look, coach, I'm scouting. Now you can't yell at me for not scouting. But
it's
actually,
like, well,
you're not fully scouting.
Yeah, but you got to make sure. Either way, it's not going to be proxies for either player, which is how you can tell we're not time traveling back to the past about 2 months ago, whereas proxies every game.
Command center upgrade complete.
Okay, that's
I'm
good
glad
to
we
know.
that. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, StarCraft 2. We don't even need to cast anymore.
We got the AIs coming in eventually.
Well, that's why we need to play these games with like the Tastos' voice pack on, so that we just listen to them cast the game for us.
Say they want to stay up all night with challenge? Fun challenge? I think that's what that was saying.
Maybe they have been staying up all night watching Challenge in our late broadcasts. Either way, all we know is what that little smiley face means there at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
universal language is emotes. Eventually, we'll just get rid of all languages and only talk in emotes. Emoticons.
I certainly think that's the way our society is progressing. Yep, pretty mirrored builds on both sides. So, wow, this is definitely going to be the most even game in our most even series. This is kind of cool to watch. So, also, I want to see whether or not our players want to go for conflicting styles. You know, one player goes mech, the other player goes bio. That was cool to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Bunny, I feel like it works on a map like Frost when you basically only have one route that you have to stop. Ascension to Ire can be a little bit harder, especially because your bases are pretty spread out. That third in the front, there's just this massive concave that the enemy can get if they want to attack in there. I think it's still doable, but as I was theorizing,
what is that, the Immortal Reaper?
How I just lost my thought.
You can do it, Valdez.
I lost it.
Sorry.
How Bunny, I feel like he was transitioning, how he was going into mech because of the units that he already built and because of the setup that he had.
Yeah, because he had to defend with Cyclones and Hellions, so he's like, well, time to head that direction. But this game, of course, is the most even. Of course, now we are seeing some deviations. Raven on the way for Bunny, JJAKJI building up that Air Force.
Double Raven coming in here. JJAKJI will have the defense in the Vikings that are coming out. Bunny having second thoughts. Raven turning around, says, I give up on this mission. Look at the walls that are set up here.
Oh, lining them up, trying to take out those Marines, but instead he loses everything.
Yeah, Bunny's face tells the story as he did line him up, but he only had enough time to get one shot.
Also, the line wasn't a straight line either. He got a little bit too close, and the focal point of those Hellion flames is just a little bit too close. And the Marines survive, the Hellions do not.
Yeah. Bunny, surprisingly, I feel like as he gets older, he gets more emotional in the booth. I don't really know what that's all about, but he easily shows his emotions nowadays. Like, one thing goes wrong, he's just like, oh, this sucks.
When was the last time we saw Bunny have a big army fight with his mouth closed? It's like, it just doesn't happen. It's like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. I hope I win. Well, he did not win that last fight. Now he has to bear the brunt of lots of tanks. This landed Viking, I love it. Lots of damage to this mech on the ground, but the Raven, I think, is just going to be too much. 3 auto turrets dropped to hang on.
Auto turrets are fantastic. Look at the Viking doing work, though, against the Hellions. Going to get that hot pickup of the Viking on the ground eventually. A lot of that army supply currently in Ravens, and Bunny does keep them all alive, which is quite nice, but he doesn't have the energy now to defend his third.
Third's still morphing. Yeah, he's going to have to cancel and lift that. So heading back home, it should make it back alive, but, you know, at what cost? Look at the parade coming across the map. JJAKJI, just with a huge army, this counterattack will deal so much damage.
I love this tank positioning. Can he actually get to that tank? I don't think so. The SCV is even fighting in here. Finally, an auto turret does come down.
Yeah, that auto turret really kind of flips the script here. And wow, even one of them taking out a Viking behind that. Bunny holds on pretty well. I definitely thought that was going to go better for JJAKJI.
It was looking pretty good, but maybe he just got a little bit too aggressive.
4 racks on the way here for JJAKJI. So he's making a big bio transition. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got, I think, 3 factories and double armories on the way. Bunny going mech again.
This guy doesn't stop. After that first attack with the Hellions, he's like, well, let's just do this again. And looks like this was the direction he was heading in since the play that we saw earlier on.
You know what's better than Hellions, Valdez?
Hellbats?
More Hellions.
I
but
see.
Also Hellbats, yeah. And yeah, Blue Flame on the way as well as 1-1 mech upgrades, so we're making the swap. 3 bases for both players. Be interested to see who expands first. I would say that probably JJAKJI might look for it, but as soon as you build those big macro facilities, you just want to pump out a ton of units. So that's what we're seeing on both sides as our upgrades start to kick in.
Yeah, combat shields and stim for JJAKJI. Looks like he will be playing bio tank here.
He's getting 1-1 as well, so that's going to be a very strong bio force versus a very strong mech one. This is pretty cool. Even though we have seen fighting, the game by and large is kind of evened up on both sides. Cheeky Italian.
That guy gets the Purple Heart, man. Took out an SCV, did his duty.
Fighting, wounded.
Had like 3 health left.
But he makes it happen. Oh, actually, wow, just out of range of that supply depot. Staggers the Hellions so they run in 1 by 1, but uh-oh. Looks like depots are a good way to stop Hellion run-bys.
JJAKJI is such a smart player, actually. When you really see the little things that he does, like earlier on Frost, or not on Frost, I think it was game 1, he had stuff in location to scout drops coming in.
Yeah.
This one little depot
I love it.
and the
so
depot
cool.
wall. Earlier on, he knew the Hellions were coming. If he could get his mechanics down a little bit better, I feel like he would definitely be a stronger player. Unfortunately, he is one of our older players that we do have here in Korea.
Yeah, I guess we have a few of those. Oh, wow, he's actually going to catch the Unsiege. Nice pickup, but okay, turns out Tank's not very roastable. It's like, does it roast? Will it roast? No. Well, I guess it will eventually. You just have to hit it like 20 times.
Yeah, you gotta pour gasoline all over it, light it on fire with multiple flamethrowers, and then it blows up.
Yeah, blue flame can melt steel tanks.
Yeah, he's going in there. Look at the auto turrets doing work, tanking in the front.
Oh, he's not targeting that Liberator, though. The Viking's hitting everything past it. Finally, he'll take it out, but not before it's taking out quite a few Hellions on the ground. They'll morph to Hellbats with to push forward as Bunny's tanks siege up.
Bunny gets the jump on this tank, the last one that JJAKJI had left over.
This Air Force for Bunny is just putting in work. The auto turrets being so immensely helpful as well. This is just going to be almost too much. The bio ball for JJAKJI pushed way behind the mineral line.
Those 3 tanks that showed up, that's when he's like, yeah, get out of my game, kid. This is my one to take. Looks like Bunny is going to go ahead in the series 2-1, as JJAKJI does not have an answer to this push.
Taking out that natural, crushing everything in his path. These mech upgrades so strong. The blue flame, the 1-1, the siege tanks in great positions, and now maybe getting sandwiched on all sides. Is there enough here? No. Bunny crushing JJAKJI to take a lead in our best of 5.
So he doesn't get like really hyped and excited when he wins games. Why don't we see Bunny smile more? I want to see him smile after his wins. It's really good.
He's got a long road ahead of him. It's only one more game that he has to win, but I mean, anything is possible here. JJAKJI has been looking pretty good. I want to say that he's impressing not only just in the games that he wins, but also even in that last game, coming up with a creative way to start it out. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't mind that at all. So really cool. Love to see unique strategies, and for JJAKJI, sticking to this bio, Bunny going mech all the time. Really cool to see kind of that clash, and it's working better for Bunny.
Yeah, the second he switched to mech, all of a sudden, things started going well.
He saw the light.
For me, it was when I saw JJAKJI like go for the attack, not really split his units, and then try to like drop in once again against the mech, where if me and Bunny's, if our minds were linked, we would both have like the same epiphany of like, oh yeah, he doesn't really know how to deal with this mech. Yeah. So let me just play mech again. And even though he dealt with the early game of mech, he couldn't really deal with the follow-up push very well.
I always kind of wonder whether or not players kind of plan that, where they're like, hey, this guy doesn't know how to play against this style, I'll just do that. Or you play these games and you just kind of figure out, oh, wow, he just doesn't know how to deal with that. Because I guess as pro gamers, you know how things should look ideally. A lot of times when I'm watching like tournaments with pro gamer, like friends of mine, they'll call the game like instantly because they know how it should play out from there. Now, that doesn't always happen, but when you see how your opponent reacts, a lot of times what these players do is just like stressors. Like they're putting pressure on their opponent, seeing how they react, and like, oh, well, he just doesn't play well against mech. I guess that's the way to go.
Yeah, so a couple of games of mech in a row. And, you know, even to add to that point, these guys have definitely hit each other on the ladder quite a bit and definitely have a good idea of each other's styles. But curious to see what Bunny will say in the interview if he does win this next game. But as I say, that game number 4 is all ready and loaded up, so let's jump into that right now.
Well, here he is, literally jumping into this series, hopping on in. It's the Bunster. It is Bunny.
His opponent in the top left, this is JJAKJI.
There we go. Finally getting our cheers coming in.
They're going crazy about those.
And then he built a barracks. My God.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Why didn't he go for a CC first? Everybody's like, that's the new meta.
I'm so confused.
Says they were talking about Monday Caster and how there was some relation between him and the head host, how he was like behind Monday Caster, now he's like coming in, and how that guy has him saved in his heart now, this new caster.
Wow, that's like a love letter. Guy flew all the way
From Chuncheon. That's not that far, but it's not in Seoul. So
That is true.
He gets a pass.
Anytime you come outside of Seoul to Seoul, that's a big move.
CC coming down.
Whoa! There we go. I'm Korean casting right now. Another crowd control being placed.
Crowd control.
That's what it stands for, right?
Oh, CC? Yeah.
Command centers on both sides. They're both building Reapers, SCVs.
I love how the Korean casters are like talking with the audience quite literally.
No, they're literally like asking them questions, and then the audience responds, and then they go with it. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
We got the SCV Reaper attack.
I love this because it's like, well, you can't fight against it with just a Reaper because then you miss a setter step. Or can you? 2 SCVs is greater than 1, Valdez. That was me doing math on air.
Yeah, good micro to get away in the end, but Bunny will lose his SCV on the backside of it. But he made a second one that is coming across the map. Didn't quite see if JJAKJI did, but noticing the reactor on his barracks means probably not. Don't think that's possible. So coming on in here, 2 Reapers versus 1. He's desperately trying to stop the CC.
No, they can't find me. They'll never take me alive.
You just got to jump off the cliff at that point. Like, you're dead. It's
well, I
done.
mean, it's Abyssal Reef, right? So you can swim. You just swim down.
That's true. Why don't you just swim up? Reapers can't attack up. There you go.
All you have to do is push off the ground, and all of a sudden they can't shoot you anymore.
Attack.
Oh, target fire! Great
Yeah.
control there, but finally these Reapers from Bunny get pushed back.
Ooh, 2 health and 2 kills for that Reaper. So, a little bit of fancy schmancy shenanigans here in the beginning of the game, but we will transition into normalcy. Bunny actually losing his Reaper, doing a small bit of damage to this Hellion.
I love the rubber band fight in the middle. It's like, I come over to your side, then you push back to my side. Now I push you back to your side. Nothing really matters in this game. Even seeing super mirrored production with Ravens on both sides. Here's the Cyclone to defend is a nice touch. JJAKJI just trying to secure his half of the map.
Quick third CC on location. Bunny trying to play to the map. Abyssal Reef, we say it very often, it's very easy to defend. There's really only one way to get to that base. You have to go all the way around the north. You could go in through the 5th base location, up the ramp, through the 4th, and then to the 3rd. Or you can break through the rocks, but generally if you get it this early and you set up a wall over there and get some units, you know, get a tank in position, it's pretty good. But look at JJAKJI, this guy is so smart coming in here for a scout already. We'll see it.
Oh, and he's going to delay the command center. This is so annoying to deal with. Of course, SCVs do take quite a bit to take out, but eventually, yeah, this is going to slow it down. I'm not sure what... sometimes I feel like as a caster, like, you know, you look at the screen, you're like, okay, well, here's kind of basically what's happening, and then they're getting hype about something like,
I mean, they're not talking about the game.
No.
They're talking about like what they had for dinner today and, you know, recent Korean
And then they
news.
brought the kimchi to the table. It was so good.
It was not that spicy, just like I like it.
How did they know? They made it just for me. All right, well, double E-base on both sides. I guess we are not going to be seeing mech out of this game at least, but I love how JJAKJI finds a little spot for weakness and he's hammering it home saying, no, you might be able to complete the command center this time, but will not be safe for long.
Yeah, this is the danger of going for a risky move like that, putting it on location. It gets scouted, the exact timing of it, but also, wow, he actually killed the tank. How did that happen? Did he kill it with an auto turret?
Yeah, with the auto turret. That's hashtag value, man. Wow.
What a beast.
Yeah, I know. Crazy good.
Bunny's going bio this time around.
Yeah. It's going to be bio versus bio. I mean, it's not your traditional bio. It's just literally Marine, Siege Tank, Medevac. We are mixing it up a little bit with some Ravens in the sky, along with Vikings, trying to get that air control as well. Even Liberators now being mixed in from Bunny, so he's going to have a very diverse composition. Heading out on the map, both players finally taking their third bases. JJAKJI's harassed Bunnies quite a bit, but is still only getting his third up just now.
This is a really good scout by Bunny.
Yeah.
He sees the location of JJAKJI's army, and JJAKJI smartly, though, will back off because he knows the potential for this attack with just the one scouting Marine going the other location. But he's got to go all the way around that horseshoe. And now the Ravens and everything are in position. Can he take out that CC? The auto turrets are coming down. He wants it.
Oh my God, that's a lot of damage, a lot of energy to commit. Even more being thrown down, and there it goes.
Fantastic snipe there. He commits so much to it, but we got JJAKJI on the other side going for an attack.
It's a lot of Marines, a lot of very unfortunate SCVs. Stutter stepping forward, 14 fall, and he's gonna get the SCV on the other side.
There you go, trading CCs, trading orbitals. And at the end of the day, JJAKJI comes out way ahead.
That's our new home and garden show, trading orbitals.
Yeah.
Not trading spaces. We got higher stakes here in the SSL challenge. A big drop. He could snipe the upgrade.
Oh.
Shields goes down, and he'll pick up and escape. Or will he? No. We're turning around, going back in for it. There's drops at the natural, drops in the main.
JJAKJI doesn't want to leave this one just yet. He wants to win 2 in a row so he can tie Rogue in the 4th place spot. And, well, this is going to be eventually cleaned up. Not sure if the follow-up drop was really a bit of a risky one, you know?
Yeah, in the end, it does all get cleaned up. But look at what they accomplished. The natural expansion totally devoid of SCVs there for JJAKJI. His third base is, or for Bunny, his third base is gone. On the other side, JJAKJI is actually over halfway to completing his third base, so I gotta say, man, JJAKJI looking good, but I don't want to get my hopes up just yet because we've seen players get advantages and then kind of throw them away. Anything can happen.
Oh, we don't care about this, Raven. Show us the fight. Here we go. The turret's coming down. Liberator in position, but everything is going to be cleaned up. Bunny walking down the ramp to his death. Now it's looking more likely we're going to another game 5.
There are a bunch of tanks on the high ground, so Bunny will hang on. The problem is with Raven harass in his main, taking out even more SCVs, he's mining off of like half a base right now here at the natural. I don't know, Bunny is just being starved out here. JJAKJI tightening the noose.
That's going to do it, GT. We're going to game 5 again. JJAKJI can hardly believe it.
Bunny, man, looking a little bit heartbroken. He had it. He was doing so well, but now running into a few speed blocks. Bumps. It's roadblocks and speed bumps.
Speed shields.
You cross them up, you get speed blocks, which is, in fact, what both of them are.
Yeah, they block speed, but Bunny just, man, I want to cheer for this guy, and he's like doing all the right things, but JJAKJI is really making it hard for him.
He really is, and I don't feel like, you look at JJAKJI and you say, okay, well, what has this guy done lately? And it's like, well, he had a pretty good SSL challenge first season, but like, where else, right? And you look at Bunny and you're like, well, where does this guy play? And the answer is probably not that many places either. In fact, in Korea, Bunny has only played offline tournaments. And in fact, right now, this is the only tournament that either one of these players are playing in offline. So, I mean, you kind of just got to go for it, right? And for JJAKJI, this is the last chance you have that opportunity to.
Yeah, it's true. And Bunny doing a little bit of meditation after his second loss in the series will have to gather his mind and bring it all together here for game number 5. It matters so much for Bunny. He needs to win this one and then hope that Byun loses. So here we go, guys. Game number 5 start right now on Newkirk Precinct.
go. Fly better flying down to the bottom left-hand corner. Newkirk Precinct TE. This is our Red Terran player, Bunny. Got SEs, LEs, TEs, all kinds of maps.
Tournament edition, maybe?
Yeah. Terrific edition.
Terrific edition.
Brendan Valdez TE.
Travesty edition.
Terrible edition.
That's the opposite here.
Torpulent edition.
Oh,
But that's
no.
your word of the day, guys. Go look it up. Here we go, mirrored builds again. Oh my God.
That is the way it goes.
They're really doing it.
Mirrored scouts, too. I hope we still have those. Okay, we're getting a full shot. Yeah. I hope we still have those chat translators.
Into it. We have to like change after that eyebrow raise, man. Whoa. Looking deep into my soul.
The SCV scouts, the SCV.
Haha.
Good start to this one. So he's thinking about a CC himself, but waiting until Bunny gets pushed away.
This is the most exciting thing going on right now.
I'm like trying to listen to what the Korean casters are talking about. We should get like a live translation so we can comment about their commentary.
That's the true meta casting right there. Is where we just talk about what the other casters are saying.
That's true piggyback edition. we don't get to see the game. We just get to listen to the other casters and think about what might be happening in the game.
This is just fascinating right now. The most exciting thing in the entire world is one SCV moving across the map.
They're not watching the game. They're not even looking at it. They're just like hanging out over there. And it's pretty fun. I guess, you know, whatever makes the broadcast fun.
That is true. We could cast the audience too, they just wouldn't listen. We could just start yelling Korean really loudly and see if they catch on.
It's 2-2.
This is like the most standard start. I'm really interested to see how this goes because it does look like we're going to have the double Hellion opener on one side from Bunny. Maybe also going back to that mech strat. Maybe a little bit too early to tell. But on the other side, JJAKJI is just going to be locked down airtight.
Yeah, it's 2-2. It comes down to this. Newkirk Precinct, this is another map where you can definitely go back into mech if you're Bunny. I do like the idea. I do think he should do it. You can get up a really nice tank line, a couple of sensor towers, and just say, hey, JJAKJI, come at me like you've been trying to.
So the translation of that fan sign was, according to our in-chat translator, big fan, says, I want to get your t-shirt, Caster Kanata. I want Kanata's t-shirt too. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's nice.
I actually want that Pro League t-shirt even more, though.
That
is the true victory.
Maybe that's
tonight.
the t-shirt he was talking about.
They think they're giving that away to fans. Nuh-uh. My love for the fans stops
we're fans
at the Pro League t-shirt.
We're in the audience too.
Yeah, I'm a hashtag big fan, man.
Yeah.
That's what we need. So, finally we get to see things start happening. Drop versus drop. And unfortunately, these medevacs are not armed. So they're going to have to run into each other over the middle of nowhere and watch as they pass by. Woo! There we go. A little bit of handshake. No! It was all a lie. It turns around. Bunny going to chase JJAKJI's dropships to the ends of the earth.
I'm surprised that JJAKJI committed to it, you know? He must know what's coming up, but he's going really aggressive.
Yeah,
here.
He is hitting at the front at the same time. JJAKJI winning on both fronts.
Okay, I'm no longer surprised that he went for it. Makes sense in the end, as there was a tank coming out and lots of production being built. He wants to snipe the tank.
Oh, nice pickup. Micro to the back. The Cyclones crushing through in the front. Lots of damage being done. 8, 10 more. SCVs going down, and a hot pickup saves him again.
And he's not done yet. He wants to get a couple more and begin to chip away at that CC. Look at how fast it dies. He needs to lift it.
You got to lift that. I think he's going to use it to maybe bait and try to take that out. Oh, the medevac dropping down pretty low. He's going to try to get in here and take out even more SCVs, or will he?
This is the time where I think JJAKJI needs to accept the damage that he's done and go home.
Yeah, just take it and get out, man. Okay, finally. Wow, but look at the damage being done. Bunny down to 16 or now 18 SCVs.
Well, he's sitting at 18 army supply, but his workers are way far behind.
I was like,
compared to
oh,
JJAKJI's.
that's a very low SCV number. No, that's
like,
the army
wow.
tab.
That was a huge blow. Mostly economic, and everything gets scouted as well, so JJAKJI knows the transition. He saw the stem on the way, and yeah, I mean, this guy, let's hope he doesn't pull a Bunny game number 1 where it's like,
yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Okay, I'm massively ahead. Now how do I throw the game? Yeah,
you just gotta think to yourself, Let's see, you put your finger in your mouth and you hold it up to see which way the wind's blowing. You're like, I should throw it that direction. No. Let's just hold off on that one. See a nice clean close to this. I mean, Bunny is going to be stimming forward to try to get damage done, but he's met in the face by a giant wall of mech. And, even denying the drop as well. Man, JJAKJI is just, he's airtight. Literally.
Yeah, he really is. No damage coming his way. Weak orbital on the opposite side. Maybe we can see that sniped a little bit later on.
I mean, if you're in Bunny's shoes, right, you have to try to find a way to come back into this. That ain't it. So you're going to have to go for a different angle, a different approach. And, you know, it's hard to look at this with, you know, an accurate mindset, because you're like, wow, nothing Bunny's trying is working. I'm like, well, yeah, guys, he's behind. So he's just trying to find a way back into the game. And here's an example of where nothing seems to be working, but for every once in a while, there are ways to do it by trying different avenues.
JJAKJI heading into 2 extra racks on the back of it, and a perfect scan at the right location. Sees that Bunny is going for a third base, so
Bunny just can't catch a break, man.
Yeah.
Everything he tries is just stopped dead in its tracks, and even that third base probably won't last for long. It's a cool attempt for JJAKJI, but I mean, yeah, here goes JJAKJI loading up to take it out.
He's trying to avoid the Marines, sneak that one along the north side. Has his own third orbital already made. It's in the main, but I'm sure within the next minute he's going to send that out and go ahead and drop it on location.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, even though their supplies are pretty similar, the big hit to the worker count earlier, also the slower expansion is just going to pay off so well for JJAKJI. So we're going to see this drop. Where did that drop go? I think it actually went northbound, but there is the, or there's one that went up. There's one that's over here that's going to load up and will not be able to crush through the third, but at least is going to be annoying.
Going to break down the cooling tower. You don't want to stim into this one.
Oh,
that can actually give him false hope.
He's going to kill the Marines. No, they were just barely out of range. That would have been so sick.
That one Marine gave him false hope of like, oh, you only have a Marine up here for scouting?
Somewhere Dustin Browder was clenching. He was like, it might happen again. But it didn't, so close enough.
We do have the follow-up coming on in here. Big armies for both players. I would like to take a look at the unit tab. Bunny not going to scout this.
That's right, Bunny's running back home, but JJAKJI is not content to keep his armies in his sleeveys.
He was going for a doom drop, it looks like. He's going to go for it anyway. Going to pick up everything that he can. He has the Vikings in position.
He's got the shorter drop distance by air. This actually could be incredible. The Vikings landed on the ground. The production facility is under fire.
Going to take in that one tank before the fight even starts. Good concave here for Bunny, though. Can he make it through?
There's a nice concave around his forces, embracing them and taking them out. The Marines stimming in, the tanks being taken out. Bunny defends.
Somehow, some way. If he didn't have that concave, wouldn't have looked quite as nice as that, but did win in the end. Had to sacrifice 16 of his SCVs again, so he's got 3 bases. He is Terran, but he cannot saturate all 3 bases with SCVs.
All right, well, here we go. The counter doom drop. Not all of those medevacs are full, but there's still enough to deal damage, and this is Bunny's big shot. He took a lot of damage there. Down 25 workers, but
here we go.
This is so crazy.
Bunny's just like, F it, I'm doing it. I'm going for
We're doing it live,
Yeah.
and here we go. Drops in both players' bases. Now, there's a lot about to pop out here for JJAKJI, so maybe he'll be able to hold on. There are certainly scarier forces. I guess they're actually pretty even. This is what it all comes down to. Oh no, those siege shots on the ramp are going to be huge if he tries to come in from that angle. But I mean, this is a pretty sick base trade.
Yeah, it definitely is. I feel like Bunny has the stronger army. He's got those 3 tanks, but look at the spread here for JJAKJI. He's trying to slowly bring his units in and get a good concave of his own, perhaps a drop of his own. Here comes JJAKJI down the ramp. There's nothing here for Bunny.
He's just running it in one by one by one. That is not the way you want to hold on. And the main in tatters and shambles here. Bunny's just getting a lot of damage done.
Yeah. Bunny's army might have looked stronger, but that's about all he's got. He has 10 workers back at home. As long as JJAKJI can hold this, he'll be totally fine. There's just nothing in the main left over for Bunny.
Look at what Bunny's doing. He lifted his 3rd command center, and he's flying it to the corner, Valdez.
This
is my first ladder game all over again, but I think it will end here and now. The SCV is piling all over everything.
Oh, they actually won.
Okay, yeah, no, you do need to actually commit to that. Wait, what?
Can Mr. Tank actually come out here? Yeah, he just needs some units to pop out.
Okay, yeah, here we go. And that should do it. There it is. JJAKJI takes out Bunny. What a game, what a win. A big smile on JJAKJI's face and very well deserved.
You know who JJAKJI is sitting next to is Byun. And so every single time he wins a game, he looks over at Byun and smiles because Byun, he wanted Bunny to lose, right?
Yeah.
Because if Bunny loses, Byun wins, then Byun gets first place. And there you go. I mean, that's just fantastic.
Definitely a big fan of JJAKJI right now. Bunny, though, looks heartbroken, and you really have to give it to him that series. Like, he tried super hard. His mech was just looking pretty strong, but he couldn't close things out. Wow.
Yeah.
Both of our series today, just you cannot call it at any point in time. And now we're going to get a chance to hear from JJAKJI on the main stage for a closing SSL Challenge interview.
Yeah, it's been a while. Let's hear what he has to say.
자, 정준 선수 자리해 주시고요.
Let's welcome player JJAKJI to the stage. Tell us about your match today.
이제 너무 경기에 집중하다 보니까 두 번째
JJAKJI says, wow, it's really hard.
이라는 걸 깜빡했어요. 근데 그걸 또 변님이 게임하기 전에 알려주더라고요.
In fact, I was concentrating so hard that I actually forgot that there was no way that I was not going to be eliminated today. I was just playing my heart out.
끝나서 기분 좋은 것 같아요.
But I'm still really excited and happy that I was able to finish SSL Challenge with a win.
질문지를 뽑겠습니다. 자, 오, 야, 엄청나 많은 분들이 넣어주셨어요. 2표 나왔습니다.
So now we're going to draw a
질문지
question, a comment for JJAKJI.
짝지라는 아이디의 어원이 무엇인가요? 김은성님이.
JJAKJI, where did you get your ID from? Where does JJAKJI come from?
네.
예.
뭐 개인 방송에서도 되게 많이 말을 했는데 그냥 별거 없고요. 그냥 이제 처음에 스타1을 하던 시절에 이름이
So he said it a lot on stream. He's talked about his ID.
작아서 짝지.
아, 그래서.
But when I first started playing StarCraft 1, I first started playing. When I first started playing, I had a friend who played a lot. He was bigger than I am, so he was the big G. I'm the JJAKJI, which is the small G.
Cute story.
Yeah.
패치 방향이 자신에게 좋은지도.
So what do you think about the upcoming patches, JJAKJI?
10% 이상이 패치 내용을 모를 거예요. 어차피 패치가 그대로 되지도 않을
JJAKJI says, I'm pretty sure about 90% of actual people that play StarCraft have no idea what the patch is about, because we need to concentrate on like the game that we're playing right now.
그랬었는데 이게 똑같이 안 나오더라고요. 어차피.
굉장히 맞는 말입니다.
JJAKJI also saying that nothing has been actually like announced. They've talked about what they're going to do, but it hasn't actually happened. And a lot of times they change the patches, so it's better to focus on the way things are right now and then see how the patch comes out.
물어봤어요? 그랬네요? 네, 아닙니다. 네, 그래서 일리 있는 말인 것 같아요. 일단 뭐 지금 성적이 나고 있는 선수들도 블리츠컨도 준비해야 되고 하니까 그런 말씀하시는 것 같아요. 좋습니다. 자, 정준 선수 오랜만에 또 팬 여러분들이 응원하는 자리에서 챌린지 리그 챌린지로는 처음이죠. 예, 팬분들이 이렇게 와주셨는데 왜요? 왜?
벌써 잊으셨나 보네요.
So JJAKJI, what would you like to say to the fans?
저번에
운동을 안 지나가지고
아니 팬 여러분들이 오신 데서 경기를 펼치고 인터뷰를 하는 게 처음이냐고 제가 여쭤봤어요.
It's been a while since your last interview.
정지현 선수가 콧방귀를 낀 게 더 웃겼어요.
네.
아니 캐스터라고 하니 그것도 몰라?
이런 느낌이에요.
네.
I want to hear what he has to say to the fans.
제가
We're just gonna have to wait for that a little bit.
부족해서요. 많이
그러면
이해해
얘는
주시기
아주
바랍니다.
발전 가능성이 있는 아주
무궁무진해요.
후배니까요.
네, 3년 반째 유망주거든요.
네.
우리 팬 여러분.
We're talking about how StarCraft 2 has been affected since the beginning, since StarCraft 1.
그래도 마지막 경기 이겨서
So I don't think there are going to be a lot of offline events for me after this month.
할 수 있을 것 같고요. 그리고 앞으로도 대회 없는 기간에도 방송 같은 거 많이 하시니까.
But at least I feel like I can be proud of my performance in front of the fans.
감사합니다. 박수 주세요.
And I'll try to spend my time streaming and interacting with my fans as much as possible.
제가 어윤수 선수와 변현우 선수의 경기 남았습니다 하면 잠시 후에 돌아오겠습니다. 이렇게 예, 말씀해 주시면 됩니다. 해보셨죠 한번?
네네.
기억하잖아.
So now we're going into our break before Sue versus Beyond. So JJAKJI will lead us out.
듣고 싶고
잠시 후에 뵙겠습니다.
감사합니다.